Jeez, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Shadow Killer bringing you another video on Battlefield 2042, and today's video is all about survival. How to survive on Battlefield. Yes, it is easier said than done, and some of you find it easier than others. I tend to find it easier to survive on the Battlefield as opposed to most people, but I do have my games. Just before we get into the video, if you do enjoy the video, please smash that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe, because I don't want you to miss the content that I upload. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be giving you 5 top tips to survive on the Battlefield, because as we know, sometimes it is a lot harder than people say. So I highly recommend that you stick around to the end of the video, because every tip is important and we're going to save the best till last. Now the first tip that I'm going to suggest is, if you can't beat them, join them. And I say that with every aspect of the game. If you're constantly being killed by tanks, as the gameplay shows, I'm sick and tired of being killed by tanks. I am now being the tank driver. I am now killing the people that are going to probably watch this video and say, how do I stop dying on Battlefield? And then they see this. Oh, it's Shadow Killer, he's killing me in a tank and he's sick of dying from a tank. I'm going to do exactly what he does. Whether that's also sniping. If you're sick and tired of being killed by a sniper, why don't you try sniping and try and snipe the snipers that are sniping you? It's vice versa. So my first tip is, if you can't beat them, join them. As you can see, that was a nice shot there. There's probably a sniper and a bolt there. If you can't beat them, join them. Okay, so my second tip is, don't overdo it. As you can see here, I've sort of overstayed my welcome. I've just died there, and that is because I overdone it. I got cocky. I thought I was invincible in the tank. I thought no one could touch me. You need to learn when to get out. Once you've got your kills, take a break, step away from the situation, because people will figure you out. They'll get sick and tired of dying from you, and then they'll come back with rocket launchers, or a few might come back with rocket launchers, or one might spawn in a helicopter and come back after you to get revenge after you've just mucked him off 4 times with a tank. So you need to learn when to get out. You need to stop being cocky. You know, move to a different position. I thought I sat in the same position and I died. If I would have maybe stepped back for a couple minutes or tried a different angle, I probably would have still been alive in that tank and going off. So my second, and that is the same with gunfire as well. You don't want to sit in the same spot. You see here, I do actually end up moving because I've shot a lot of people and they're going to figure me out. They're going to figure out I'm there, so they're going to either pre-aim or pre-fire. So don't get cocky, don't get comfortable in your same position if you're doing well. Switch it up a bit and move about. You can see here, we're just going to found our new spot. We've killed a few people. We're going to kill someone here, I think, just about, through the window. So yeah, so my first tip is, if you can't beat them, join them. And then my second tip is, don't get cocky. And don't overdo it either. Know when to get out. Okay, so we're 2 tips down, and the third one now coming up and makes us just over halfway of the video. You need to learn how the game is being played. Now you're probably asking, what does that have to do with me surviving on the Battlefield? Well, if you play passive and your team's playing aggressive, you could be left behind and then potentially picked off with snipers or the helicopter going after easy targets. So you need to learn how the gameplay is being played. Also with vehicles, so you need to learn, are the enemy team dominating the air? Are the enemy team, you know, dominating ground with tanks and that? You need to adjust your gameplay in order to survive. Do I need to play passive? Do I need to sit back a little bit and pick enemies off? Or do I need to be aggressive and push with my team? Because a lot of the time on Battlefield 2042, if you stick with your team, you survive. Here, I've picked a good position. I'm not actually with my team. I've got a couple behind me. You see, I'm just picking off people. I'm playing passive, and this actually leads me into a good feed. So if you just see here, I've got teammates behind me, and I actually go off here. I actually end up getting a really good feed because I learned when to play passive and I learned when to play aggressive. I know when to get out. I've just missed my targets there. You get out, you reload, and I think I do unfortunately die by a helicopter in the end. But my point is, you need to learn when to play aggressive and when to play passive, and that ties in with the tips that I said before. Know when to get out. You need to sort of be smart with your gameplay. Go with the flow of the game. If your team are constantly dying by helicopters in there, you're going to want to stick to cover a lot more, which we'll get on to further on in the video. Or if your team are being dominated by bolts or hovercrafts or tanks, you're going to want to tend to stay out of the open, stick towards the edge of the map. But yeah, so depending on how your team's playing is sort of how you need to play as well, and also the opposition. If your opposition is steaming through you, you're going to definitely play a bit more passive if you're defending. But if the defending team are sitting back, you're going to either decide to sit back as well if they're too good at defending, or you're going to decide to push on with your team and be aggressive. So that's the third point down. So we've covered, if you can't beat them, join them. And we have covered, I'm just trying to think of it now off the top of my head. Don't overdo it, as we saw in the tank, I died. And now we are covering, learn how the game is being played. So that leads us on to our fourth topic. Okay, so the fourth topic I'm going to cover on how to survive on Battlefield 2042 is use cover. There's a lot of cover on Battlefield, but then again there is sometimes absolutely zilch. You need to maximise all the cover you can, because there are 64 players potentially trying to look for you and shoot you. That could be from tanks, that could be from helicopters, that could be from snipers or infantry, or someone just sitting in a corner doing what you should be doing and using cover. So potentially if you're running out in the open towards the objective, look at me, I'm playing the objective, and then get picked off by a Nightbird or an Apache or a tank, and you think, oh, I'm sick of dying, you need to ask yourself, did I protect myself? Probably not if you run out in the open. If you run out in the open with maybe 4 or 5 of your teammates and you all die by one vehicle, or you get mowed down, you sort of need to take your hat off to the opponent for spotting you all, which probably wasn't hard anyway. But from an ice block or a vehicle that has been destroyed that is only temporary, from a lamppost in a different game mode, from a bush, use anything you can for cover on Battlefield 2042, because I promise you it will keep you alive. The enemy is always going to go for the quickest target, because people die quickly, as you know, on Battlefield 2042. You never know who's going to kill you, so people always go for the easiest kill that they can see straight ahead. So if you're running next to someone and you're maybe running so they can't see your whole body, and that your friend next to you, they can see them all, they're going to go for them first, which then potentially gives you the chance to kill the enemy. Or if you can't kill them, take cover while unfortunately your teammate is dying. So taking cover and using all the cover you can on Battlefield 2042 and all the terrain is highly important to surviving. Okay, so we've covered a lot of topics so far, and there's been a lot of information to process, so if you do need to watch this video once or twice or even 3 times to make sure you get all of it, then feel free. But we're going to move on to the last topic, so congratulations if you did make it this far. And the last topic I'm going to discuss about how to survive on Battlefield 2042, which I believe could go for every single shooting game, is pick your battles wisely. Pick your battles wisely. Am I going to win this gunfight? Am I challenging the right person? Am I sticking my head up and trying to take on more than I can chew? Am I in a tank driving into the open trying to take on 2 tanks, or with a silly good jet in the air? As you can see here, I'm just poking my head up. I'm only picking targets that I think, I'm not, you know, going silly. I'm not crazy sitting there shooting constantly. I'm taking cover. I'm picking my battles wisely. Am I making sure that I'm putting myself in the best position to win these gunfights? I'm doing everything that I've said. I'm sticking with my team. I'm taking cover. I'm being aggressive when it's the best time because there's smoke. Unfortunately, I was done by a glitch there and then I died. But the point is you need to pick your gun battles wisely, because I believe that is the most important thing on Battlefield. You can do everything right, but if you constantly pick the wrong battles to fight, you will die a lot on Battlefield 2042. So that wraps it up for today's video, guys. I appreciate a lot of you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video and you did learn something new, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.